The SABC has fired all 8 journalists who were facing disciplinary action. Attorney Aslam Musaji represents them. He joins us via Skype now. Good evening to you, Aslam. Thank you very much for your time. Had you expected the SABC to fire your clients?
It wasn't totally unexpected. I was hoping that they would act responsibly. After we filed the Constitutional Court application, I had written to the attorney of the SABC and had indicated to him that we believed that if they took steps to continue with the disciplinary processes, they would be acting in contempt of the court proceedings, and we're disappointed that they've nevertheless gone ahead and delivered notices of termination. We believe that this shows a disregard to the Constitutional Court process.
So that's an interesting thing. Is that the reason that you had told them, or you'd advised them not to attend their internal SABC disciplinary hearings?
No, it's not a question of not attending the SABC disciplinary hearings, but we believe that the Constitutional Court process will have a bearing on the disciplinary processes. We do ask in our relief that we're claiming from the Constitutional Court, amongst others, that there be a declaration that the suspensions and the initiation of the disciplinary proceedings are invalid and unconstitutional.
So the SABC couldn't argue that by refusing to attend their hearings, these SABC employees were in breach of their contract?
Absolutely. I just don't understand why they have not awaited the determination of the Constitutional Court application before they proceeded any further. They certainly can't show any prejudice if they had to wait for the determination by the Constitutional Court.
We know that some of the SABC staffers concerned spoke to other media houses or went public with their concerns about the SABC. From a Labour point of view, were they within their rights to actually do that?
Well, I'm not sure that that's entirely accurate, but I think there's certain very important issues that underlie the Constitutional Court application. This case is not only about the 8 SABC journalists, but more fundamentally, it's about the SABC. And the SABC is the public broadcaster funded by public funds and has various statutory and constitutional obligations. And frankly, I would have expected the SABC to have adopted the stance when faced with the Constitutional Court application is to say, we don't agree that the journalists are entitled to the relief that they're claiming in this application, but we do agree that South Africa deserves a speedy resolution of the issues that underlie this particular application. It goes to the heart of the functioning of the SABC, and it also deals with the ethical and constitutional responsibilities of journalists in South Africa. So we believe that, or we were hoping that they would have welcomed that opportunity and said, we support the Constitutional Court granting urgent direct access so there can be a speedy resolution and determination of the issues that relate to this application.
We know that some of these journalists are going to the Labour Court tomorrow under the aegis of Solidarity Union. Are you involved in that at all?
I'm not involved in that, but I understand that that is set down for Thursday this week, Joanne.
Right. So can you tell me what the common threads are between this Labour Court action and the Constitutional Court action in which you're involved?
I think that both applications raise the issue regarding whether these journalists are entitled to engage with management regarding the protest policy, and whether management are entitled to try to silence them when they raise their concerns. My clients believe that they have ethical and constitutional obligations to fairly and properly report the news, and they don't believe that the policy in question allows them to do that. And in view of that, and that's an issue that underlies both applications. If they believe they have certain constitutional and ethical obligations, then because they question and because they engage in debate with management at the SABC, that should not be a basis to discipline people. Instead, if the SABC is correct in the stance that they have adopted, one would have expected management at the SABC to explain their standpoint to the journalists and to win the journalists over.
Let's ask you a more general question. I'm curious to know if Hlaudi Motsoeneng is the source of the trouble, as some journalists are alleging he is. Why is no one bringing a legal challenge focusing specifically on the public protector's findings on Motsoeneng's employment?
I haven't been dealing with that, but I understand that there are challenges before the court relating to the implementation of the public protector's report, but that's not an issue that I am close to, and I can't speak to that, unfortunately, Joanne.
All right, that's fine. Thank you very much for putting us in the picture. Certainly from your point of view and the point of view of the SABC 8, whom you represent, Attorney Aslam Musaji.